In order to find a sense of purpose as a human being, it does come back to how functional our relationships are in all aspects of our experience. And as human beings, we have a body. And so to be able to develop physical intelligence is of primary importance. When I feel unbalanced, unstable, when there's pain, it's difficult to see beyond those physical experiences without practice and training. And so it's challenging to connect with a bigger sense of purpose if you're distracted by your body. So we must find that intelligence. We must create a coherency. Physically, body, breath must come into harmony in order to be able to feel a sense of purpose, of connection to something bigger and to others.
Subtle intelligence is about your energetic, emotional body. Is very challenging for me because as an abused child, I learned to deny my feelings. And so as I moved into adulthood, I fought with my feelings. I pretended they weren't there, and I certainly believed they would go on forever. And so learning subtle intelligence means learning to allowing those feelings to be. And it still is a mystery to me. What does it mean to allow those feelings to flow through? But I know to say feeling, and just state what is there instead of making up a story. And so that's where I am in my quest for subtle intelligence.
The ability to process emotions. As a young girl, I was bullied, and then my mom died when I was 19. So I had a whole store of emotions that built up inside me with nowhere to go. Through Rasa Yoga, I've learned tools that will allow me to see those emotions and to allow them to process and release.
Causal intelligence is the awareness of your thoughts and patterns. I think that it's being aware of these things is your first step to transformation. Neuroplasticity comes to mind, where we can change our thoughts and patterns if we choose to.
We learn in yoga that our thoughts are what create our future. So I am seeking to become aware of my thoughts at all times, and to notice when I am worrying about something in the future or ruminating over something that occurred in the past, and to see this as silliness, as nonsense, and come back to the present moment, come back to naming my breath in the present moment and stopping the silly chatter. Now, do I listen to that little voice in me that tells me to stop every time? No. But I am getting better at listening to that voice and coming back to the present moment. And this is a practice that takes practice. It's a discipline that it takes to come back to the present moment and to not indulge in the thoughts that we're so comfortable ruminating with. But the more I do it, the more I do it. So it's a practice that's ongoing. And as I am doing this, I am developing my causal intelligence.
Function over form is such a profound lesson and life-changing when you really start leading from that principle. Form feels like rigidity intention forcing something and leaves me feeling empty. Whereas when I lead from function, from the why, the intention of what I'm doing, I feel fluid, creative, amazed, and it leaves me feeling filled or inspired.
One of the biggest gifts that I've received from my training at Rasa Yoga School is awareness around time and space and how I have the ability to truly affect how I perceive them and how I'm able to move and utilize space and time. I'm more easily able to recognize when I'm in a place of lack, seeing that I don't have enough time or enough resources to do the things that I want to do. And by accepting responsibility and honestly looking at where I'm spending my time, I'm usually able to find that there is plenty of time. It's just a matter of prioritizing that which is most important to me. And when I'm able to be in that space, accepting responsibility and clear on my purpose and why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, it's there that I experience freedom.
Empowering is the word that comes to mind around the mastery of time and space. It's really acknowledging that I do have that ability to become very clear on purpose and to direct my energy, my attention towards that bigger purpose. The mastery of time and space means that I'm able to choose how to direct my energy, my resources, my focus, my relationships, everything towards that bigger purpose. And somehow miraculously it is as if time stands still and I can feel huge beyond the boundaries of space and time, able to accomplish that bigger purpose. When that's not happening, feelings of helplessness, of overwhelm, and those are red flags. When I'm feeling disempowered, like there's not enough time, like I'm small, helpless, those are red flags, and it's a sign I need to get back on my mat and to begin again.
The sixth circle is love and abundance. To me, the love part is really about embodying compassion and empathy for myself and others. One of my fervent wishes is to be able to see everyone through the eyes of God, including myself. And I think I have to see myself that way before I see others that way. And to be able to lose judgment and evaluation, to really embody the compassion. Abundance. For me, abundance is seeing where I feel lack, which is the contrast that brings me back to a practice of acknowledging my well-being, which makes me grateful for all the things that are working. So, love and abundance to me is embodying compassion and gratitude.
I have learned many, many valuable lessons from my Guru Devi, Padma Shakti, and one very, very important one is that whatever I am seeing or experiencing outwardly, it is going to be a direct reflection of what I am experiencing inwardly. And so a perfect example is like when I come to her and I am in lack in any form or fashion, and she picks up on that very quickly. and it becomes a conversation of what I'm experiencing inward. Same thing if I'm expressing not being loved in any form, like not being seen or dismissed or disregarded or any of that. It's always, where am I? Where am I? And typically then I'm able to see where there is self-negation, where there is disregard in my inner experience, and where I am in lack, like lack of time, for example, which was a very recent conversation that we had. But there then lies a place of power. There then I can take responsibility and switch it if I choose, and start to do something about my perspective. And so I begin with the blessings, the gratitude for the blessings and the teachings that come from her and from this school.
Relationship intelligence. The most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. It is the one relationship which all your other relationships will be based on. To cultivate this relationship with yourself requires you first just to notice. Notice the things you say to yourself. Are they supportive, nourishing, or maybe they're negative and self-limiting? And then make an effort to change what you say to yourself. Also look at how you view an obstacle. Do you see it as a setback, something you won't be able to overcome? Or do you see it as a way to evolve and eventually thrive?
Relationship intelligence. The number one most important aspect of all of our lives. Relationship intelligence reflects on how orderly, how harmonious, and how coherent a relationship with ourselves and how we relate to others. Within your relationship with yourself and your relationship to others, is there freedom? Absolute freedom. Non-possessiveness, non-controlling. Is there full acceptance? Allowing yourselves and others to be as authentic as they need be, without judging them, without trying to figure out, if they're right or wrong, and even for yourself, allowing yourself to be fully and authentically who you are. And then love. All people are worthy of love, just like you're worthy of love, acceptance, and freedom. The idea of love that I'm speaking of is, as we wake up each and every day, from the scriptures, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You've got to really love yourself first, so that you can love your neighbor. And the idea of love is, today is for you, tomorrow is for me. We have the ability to be in service, but through it all, there really is no sacrifice. That we have such a clear sense of what self-love and self-worth is, that our cup is spilling over and there's more than enough to give to others. Finally, the neutrality of joy. Joy is the experience in life that whether I'm feeling a sense of sadness or happiness or great courage or even afraid, that there's an underlying current of bliss and joy. It's a knowing that what lies in the relationship with ourselves and with others, that in that space there is a cohesiveness of intelligence. There's trust, faith, hope, Shraddha. That we allow whatever it is that's occurring, even within ourselves emotionally, but underneath it all, there is bliss. I hope that this is helpful to you, because the community at Rasa Yoga, it truly for me is one of the most important aspects of my life. And what a beautiful space that we have in this community of being. It's like whether you're with us in community online or you're able to be in person, it really is a great place to connect and practice strengthening your own relationship intelligence with yourself and finding that freedom, acceptance, love, and joy within your own self in relation to yourself and in relationship with others. And for each of you, this beautiful new year that we are now going into, I wish the greatest of blessings for you and that relationship with yourself and with others. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your light, your life, and your love. Namaste.